Okay, this is a model we use for cell confiner. It's a pillars 3 micron height. If you want something like this.
Yeah.
So okay, we are going to make the cover slip with PDMS pillars for the cell confiner, and for dynamic confiner the size is 10 millimeter, and for 6-well confiner and we use 12 millimeter. Okay, first we need to prepare PDMS mix. The ratio is 8 to 1. 8 to 1. So today,
And why do you use 8 to 1 instead of 1 to 9 or 1 to 10?
Because we want a little bit hard pillar. If it's softer, it will collapse.
Okay.
Yeah, when you confine it. So that's why we always use 8 to 1. But I also find 10 to 1 is okay. But maybe there's some deform when you confine, when you put pressure. Yeah. And we mix. This step is very important. We need to mix very well. Otherwise, after you bake it, reticulated PDMS is very difficult to remove from the model, and your model will be destroyed. So this step is very, very important. So you need to mix very well. Okay, next we need to prepare the cover slip. You want to make pillars on it, and we need to activate one side in plasma cleaner at maximum power for 2 minutes.
So you just took the cover slip out of the box, you didn't wash them with ethanol or anything?
Yeah. So at the same time, we can prepare the model. It's a model with a pillar or ring. Okay, now you can see pillars here, and just distribute some PDMS on the model in the place you want to put cover slip, not a lot. Okay, and here. Okay. Now we can activate plasma. You will see it's pink. If it's pink, it means it works very well.
So plasma for how much time?
2 minutes.
2 minutes of plasma?
Yeah. Just activate one side of PDMS cover slip. It's very important for the next step. It will help to stick PDMS on the slide. Now this step is very important. So you need to know which side you activate. You can put a cover slip on the mold in the place you want to push your cover slip. And you cannot put in the middle because you will scratch the mold in the next step. And this step is very important. You need to push with tweezer, but you cannot use a sharp tweezer. You will break the cover slip. And you need to push gently. You cannot push too hard, otherwise you will break the cover slip. But you cannot. Okay. This one. And also it's very important to push enough and to keep only a very thin layer under cover slip. Okay, so now we bake it on a hot plate at 95 degrees for 15 minutes. You will see PDMS and the cover slip and the PDMS. And first we need to remove PDMS ring. So now you can see the cover slip on your mold.
So you can just peel out the PDMS like that and the cover slip stays
Yeah.
easily.
Yes. Now this step is very important, and some people think it's difficult, and we need to use a blader to unstick the cover slip with the PDMS pillars from the mold. We can put isopropyl on it.
So just a little, as I can see.
Okay, next. Okay. Yeah. To avoid some dust on the blade, I just clean it. And so we use this blade to gently unstick the cover slip from the mold. So first you put the blade under the cover slip on the edge, and you will see, I'm not sure, Nico, you can see there, it's already. And now slide the blade under cover slip. No, it's okay. Now for this one, okay. We cannot put a blader in the middle of the pattern. We need to put from the border, otherwise you will destroy your mold. Okay, it's done. Perfect. This mold is made from photoresist. It's very easy to scratch, so I use a pipette tip. So it's very important to know which size with the PDMS pillar and this side. And I need to clean with isopropyl. And dry it with air gum. Okay, put one here. It's better to check your pillar is I use this plastic cover slip to check how to check your pillar works very well. You can just put the cover slip on plastic for to take this way. And the PDMS pillar on this side, and put on plastic, and you push a bit. You can see pillars. Okay, put the cover slip with the PDMS pillars in petri dish, and treat the surface in the
So
plasma
here the
container.
pillars are on top.
Yeah, it's very important to make sure your pillars facing on top.
Pillars to the sky. So 2 minutes again?
1 minute.
1 minute.
Yeah. Okay, now we need to use PBS to rinse cover slip. So pick up your cover slip, put in PBS. It's very important to to keep PDMS pillar up. Okay. So now we are going to rinse with PBS for 3 times, and after incubate cover slip with cell culture media for 1 hour. Okay, I think it's okay. Okay, it's done. I'm not sure you can see clearly how it works in the microscope in the culture room. No, in the dark room. I will show you how it works. This. So this is a vacuum generator, and also we call the pressure generator. And okay, we just will start. So here it's the controller. We can tune the pressure. You will see. And just we can. So now we can tune the pressure. It's minus 18 millibar. And yeah. If
So negative will mean it will aspirate.
it means a vacuum. Negative means a vacuum. And if we want to confine cells, we need to go to 100. And also you can increase more, but you cannot get lower height with this. Yeah. So here it's a valve. Okay. I go back. I start from the beginning. Put somewhere in this way. Cannot be like this.
So what is this?
Yeah, this is the buffer. When you plug this with the confiner, when you put the vacuum, sometimes it will suck the solution. In this
So
way.
it's a trap.
Yeah, it's a trap.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the cell confiner we used. This one is very important, but we can use for a long time. If you make one and you make sure it works very well, you can use for several years. Yeah, and this one made of PDMS, so you see it's soft and can be deformed, and there's some soft empty part in the center. You can see, and here we call piston. And after you plug, you see there's a hole. You plug this cell confiner with the pressure generator. I just show you how it works. You see there's a PDMS membrane. It's very soft. When you put the pressure, this one can be deformed. And usually we put a confinement slide on the piston. So do like this. And first put the cell confiner on the substrate. And after you push, but to make sure there's no deformation. And now you can put pressure. Oh, yes, to minus 30 millibar. Why minus 30 millibar? Here, like this. In this way, you can see there's slightly deformation. You see, on the top, and in this way, and it form sealed cavity, and this cell confiner stick on the substrate very well, cannot move. But under this condition, this piston is also on the top of cells. It's about 100 micrometer, and the piston and the confinement slide did not touch cells. And now you can increase the pressure minus 100.
It's sticking.
So now you see there's deformation.
Yeah.
Deformation, and the piston go down and to confine cells. Now you can see on the bottom the piston touch the substrate. So in this way it works very well. Okay, this one we need to clean with ethanol, 70% ethanol, and dry it. And you cannot leave this device in contact with the ethanol for a long time. Otherwise, its PDMS can absorb ethanol and become toxic to cells. So you can clean with the ethanol, but you need to dry it. And to make sure there's no solution inside, because there's a soft empty part here. Now we can leave here. And it's very important, you need to clean the bottom face with scotch. Otherwise, if there's dust, you cannot get a good seal cavity. You cannot seal this device. You need to fix the tubing and find the good position. Like this. Maybe you will put like this. So for next. And now plug this device. It's not dry. We need to wait a bit. Plug this device into pressure control generator, and just to check. This step is very important to check there's no deformation on the device and even on the tubing. If there's a deformation, and you will break this device like this. So if you can see like this, it means it can work very well. Now we can go back to prepare the
You
conformity
mean
slide.
there should be no tension in the
No
tube?
tension, yeah. No tension and no rotation sometimes.
Torsion, okay.
Yeah. Because when you put like this, it should stay naturally. Cannot go like this. Yeah. This step is very important to fix. Now pick up the conformity slide and dry its backside very well. Backside, it means the glass side. This step is very important. If this backside is not totally dry, and you cannot stick on the piston. Now put conformity slide on the piston, and it will stick on piston very well. But you need to make sure you dry the backside very well. Otherwise, you can the conformity slide cannot stick on the piston and can be loose during handling. I need to check here. Okay. Now you can start to confine and put onto the solution and push. Now you can increase the pressure. To -30. -30. Under this condition, you can get a very good seal. And you will see it's sealed. And now you can fix the tube and put the cover. Now it's okay. You can see this slider with big pillars and small pillars. The big pillars for spacing and the small pillars to confine cells. Maybe we can go from here. Yes. And now we can increase the pressure. You will see what happens.
Facing